Alright, we're just gonna send it.
So maybe does that seem... Mike seemed kind of loud today.
And chatters. I need more coffee. So, you'll forgive me. I'm very tired. So I'm gonna make myself some coffee real fast. I want to talk to you about today's plans. It's just pretty simple. We're just gonna make a soup. I plan to be eating it. Time for the Steelers to be on my television. So, which honestly, it really isn't that hard. No, not keys. I don't need keys. I need coffee. Coffee is what I need. Holy shit! I'm dragging ass. so dragging so much ass. There we go. Suppose I can get the pot out of the refrigerator. Oh, God. That is frickin' heavy. Oh dear. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, my fridge is very full right now. You know what? I also did decide that I am actually going to chop up that onion. So, freely admit that I keep my coffee grounds in a plastic bag in a refrigerator. Anything? Why the hell would anyone do that? Well, until you've carried a trash bag leaking garbage juice throughout your house because you decide to throw away all your coffee grounds, you learn pretty quickly, keep them in your fridge until the day you're going to throw them out. Then you just dump them all in there and take them in trash that way. Because don't have time to leak everywhere. I keep an odd amount of trash in my fridge actually. Mainly because if I'm cooking some sort of meat or something like that, I'll just wrap it up in a bag I was going to toss anyway. And keep it in the fridge. That's the way it doesn't smell. It's more of a, it keeps the stank down thing than anything else. You know, just the because, you know, you cook one single meal on a Friday night and have that package at the bottom of your trash for the entire week. It do be stanky. Like every time I come into my kitchen, stink. All right. Oh, dummy me. I never ran that. Son of a... Well, I only have one thing to wash. It's not that big of a deal. This is sick and never ran my dishwasher. Why did I open this? Oh my god, it's like worse than goldfish memory right now. Holy crap. Shows you just how out of it I am. Man, I gotta reorganize this pantry. It's cluttered as hell. Open this up. I guess I can take the chicken out. This should be enough, I hope. Do I not have more? No, I dumped it in here. Okay. Alright. Start chicken. Wait, not chicken, turkey. Turkey! Silly human. Alright. Again, shows you exactly how just loopy I am right now. I can't even remember what I'm making. Alright. But I'm sure y'all have had soup before. Ingredients: carrots, celery, onion, seasonings, noodles, some herbs, turkey. I'm making soup. The only difference is I'm going to actually do some interesting stuff with the veggies. So, what we'll do... no, I'll put them in... Yeah, I'll just put them in this pan as it's sitting here. I'll get the onions in first. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get the onions in this first, followed by the celery. Well, let's just get chopping. How about that? I'll just get chopping. I'm just trying to take the order of operations because, oh, right. I'll do the reveal of this real fast. I think that thing needs to be open. But there you go. In case you didn't see it. That is our stock. It's a nice fat layer on top of it. Right, I wanted to get that too. Okay, let me wash the two things that I really needed to wash yesterday and neglected to do so because I was tired. Yeah, that is our stock. Let's see, we're going to utilize that fat layer on top of it. But I need the little sieve thing that I had yesterday cleaned up. Because that is the best way of actually getting the stock out. Or, I'm sorry, the fat separated from the stock. Probably also augment that with a little bit of butter too. So. It was probably not enough. Rinse this off because the last thing I want is to dunk something soapy in there. That'd be a tragedy. Bunk. Watch the other thing too while I'm at it. Oh, right. That. And also grab our other thing of turkey stock. And I'm going to use this to, part of this to boil, well, this plus probably more of that to boil some noodles. Because typically, if you want to do this right, you don't boil the noodles in the soup itself, you boil it separately. So you get more broth at the end. Right? Yep, more broth at the end. Therefore, basically, you just get more soup. The downside to that, though, is that your noodles are just plain boring and boiled in regular old water, instead of getting some of that nice flavor. What I'm going to do to work around that, what I was going to do to work around that, is I got some chicken bouillon cubes that I was going to toss like one or two inside of a pot while the noodles boiled. But then I remembered, I had basically the identical problem last year as I had this year. I have made way too much stock. So, what I'll do this time is, now that I have a supply of stock, I will boil my noodles in the stock. So that's what we're gonna do. There we go. Needed to get my ladle clean as well. I can just exist back there. It's fine. Okay. So what I want to do, get that fat layer separated before that warms up too much, which is not really going to be that big of a problem. This is ooh. Yeah, see? That. I'm trying to minimize. It's like thick. But we're not going to waste it. Very thick. Alright, it's probably enough. That is remarkably thick stuff. That's okay, though. That's okay. I think what I may do, is because I don't know how much I'll end up using, I'll get this started on the warm-up process here, because this thing has to heat up anyway. It's going to take ages. So we'll get that started now. And that right there. We'll get that started now, slowly. And then I'll ladle some out based on vibes. So not need to be on full hot. We'll put that on low. There we go. Oh goody, my coffee's done. Yay. That makes me happy. What am I? Oh my god. I'm just doing things today, because apparently. I'm so out of it. just over here just kind of just doing things, it seems like. Alright. Time for chopping. Time for being really bad at it. Alright, we're going to do the annoying one first. I'll do the onion first. Like I said, if I completely, utterly screw this up, I have a backup. So I'm not very good at chopping onions. One of my admitted many failures. Also put this on very low heat. There we go, just to get that also warming up. Okay, that's coming up, that's coming up. Alright. Sorry, wire tangled. I'm going to be so happy whenever I can actually take all this shit out of my frickin' kitchen. Yeah, it's just, it's been, there's been wires and cords and shit in my kitchen since Thanksgiving. So, it's annoying at best. Wait, hang on, where are you guys? There you guys are. Oh, yeah, sorry. There we go. So I can actually see you guys. Okay, cutting an onion, which I'm not good at. Let's see, the vegetable knife or that one? I want to try one of my new knives. I use this one for the onion, that one for the other veggies. Okay, here we go. Another banger from Vite Ramen. Okay. Peeling onion. I just get that top layer going. Oop, a little bit too much. How about this, Blue? Do it over the sink, so all the little bits of shit you don't want in your soup doesn't go on the cutting board that you're going to use. I need my coffee. In case you guys can't tell. A little bit of a... This knife is very sharp, by the way. That's nice. Hang on. Of course I gotta try to type on my keyboard with my oniony ass hands, you know. Don't want that. Just so you know, I can hit the, there we are. Count must be accurate. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Keep that part on for now. So, chop it in half. Alright, hang on. A little bit of skin left on that we don't want. Here we go. Up like that. Then And like, oh, huh. There you go. Now we can do. I mean, I've heard people scream, "Oh, don't dice onions like that. It's silly," and it works like a fucking treat. They're just angry people on the internet, that's all. Man, how many of these freaking little pieces of skin did I miss? Huh. Okay, well, that was easy. You know, maybe I shouldn't have put that on the stove right away. Pull up. So now the bottom's all hot. Ugh. How do I keep dropping this stuff? Come on. Like picking up onion off my floor now. There you are. Ugh. We'll just keep that there. Now this is in the way. You know what? We'll just put it back. It'll be fine. All right. Do that again. Presence of mind to move my hand. Here we go. Oh, careful. That was a fingertip. Don't need to suddenly turn this into a medical triage stream. Yeah. There we go. Let's get the bigger pieces that weren't quite got. Oh, this knife is a treat. Treat to use. My goodness. I want to try the other one though, too. Apparently, this is more of an all-purpose knife. The other one I got is a more for chopping, so. Oh, it's so nice using actual good knives. I have no idea. And here, why don't I actually just carry the cutting board over there? Just go there. Basically what I'm doing is just going to let these exist inside the pan for a bit. Same with my other ingredients, other veggies. They're just going to exist in there, getting warm. While I do everything else, you know. Alright, like I said, I'm going to try that other chopping one, so I'm just going to watch this one real quick. Right after... sorry, I bonked you there. Right after. Get rid of all the onion inside of my sink. Not much to wash here because it was just onion, but you know, I don't want my very nice knife being all oniony. Fun fact, this is the only piece of Hololive merch I own. There we go. All right. All clean. This is a nice knife. I waited far too freaking long for it to show up, but nice knife. There we go. Give this one a shot next. But first, gotta clean up our celery here. Oh, that was effortless how easy that went in there. Or went through there, I guess. Okay. This stuff you do need to give a... Ah! Too hot, too hot. Quick rinse. Get the dirt off of it. Oh. That cuts like a dream. Come on. There we go. Goodness, that's a nice knife. Not much left after that, but whatever. We'll be fine. Ooh. Oh man. It's a little messed up. Oh well, we'll have less celery, I guess. That's unfortunate. Always a little bit wary about the veggies that are messed up like that. Oh, no, I still need to get going just a little bit longer. Actually, that one was quite a big chunk. Oh. There we go. Just trying to keep these of a uniform size. Lovely. Okay, good enough. All right, there we go. It's nice. A delight to use, by the way. Quite happy with it. In case you're wondering, this is what's happening over on the stove. Yeah. Let's have that cooking down a bit. All right. Ah, sorry, bumped you guys. Now for the carrots. Got those peels later. This knife, like I said, works a treat. Ah! Hi, Droid. Yep. There's gonna be. How do I drop two things again? It's gonna be a tiny bit. Not much. You don't need much. If you're worried about MSG, don't use it. I insist that you shouldn't be. It's just a salt. But there's going to be a sprinkle. Yep, it's all it does. It's basically a flavor enhancer, so I said it's just a salt. So, oh wait, what am I doing? roughly the same size. No, stop. Don't go rolling away on me. But yeah, there's going to be MSG in this. Right now, just joined, I am kind of pre-cooking the veggies. Bring it over here, I'll show you again. I'm kind of pre-cooking the veggies and a little bit of the fat that I skimmed off of the stock that I made yesterday. So, I get a little bit of caramelization action happening with the onions, you know? Not a lot, but some. Probably throwing a bit of butter in there too, just to cook those a little bit more while the stock that I have comes to a boil. At least warms up enough that I can actually start using it for what I want to use it for. This I didn't cut the thumbs off of. There we go. There we go. 2 more carrots. Peeling carrots is a particularly not a fun task at 8 o'clock in the morning when I've just woken up, but I really, 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 really want beef stew in a slow cooker for dinner. Plenty of times I have done that, along with an equivalent amount of potato for that. Yeah, some of these are a touch large. Hang on. I would only ever do what I just did with a sharp knife. This is a sharp knife. Man, these are extra. Here we go. Just trying to keep everything a roughly the same uniform size. Alright, one more. That should be good enough. I admittedly did not buy most of these ingredients. When I went over to my mom's place for Thanksgiving, she happened to have extra of all of this. So instead of me buying it myself at the store, I just use that. So I think I may end up with a little bit more carrot than celery. So the ratio might be a touch off, but it'll be fine. It will be totally fine. chopped. So I also kind of don't have space to get the water boiling for the noodles, but you know what? It should be fine to wait on that. So I know these things don't take... Oh, okay, 12 to 15 minutes. A little longer than I would have hoped. That's alright. But I can take you over here, show you what's happening on the stovetop while I clean up over here. I'm waving my hands in front of the mess as if you guys could see it. I do have a garbage disposal, but I have learned a hard lesson that despite having one, doesn't mean you should shove all of your... Doesn't mean you should shove all of the carrot peelings down there and just turn it on. Good thing I know basics of plumbing. I'll just say that. Clean this delightful knife. Honestly, White Ramen's cooking products, they're fantastic. They're actually fantastic. In fact, I just spent way too much money on a paring knife from them. A fucking paring knife. These are great. I think for a few of their products, if you're looking for something cheap, they have like, well, something extremely good for not a lot of money comparatively. I know they do occasionally sell like quote-unquote B grade items, which, like, you know, the fancy handle doesn't quite look right, but the blade itself is still fantastic. So if you don't care about aesthetics, then do that. So, oh, coffee, the nectar of life. Bring you guys over there. Ugh. All right. The problem of, I'm waiting for this turkey stock to unfreeze enough to release from the bottom. Hey, there we go. Got it. Okay. What I'm also going to do, I'm going to take probably about this equivalent of turkey stock out of this Dutch oven, mainly because look how much I freaking made. I'm not gonna made so much yesterday. Like, what the hell am I gonna? So, what we're gonna do? Sorry for the bonk there. I just got one of these soup containers. Like that one. You warm it up at all? Yeah, it is a little bit. Yeah, I'll just... I'm gonna say that's enough. It's like I said, I'm not gonna put the. Well, that's enough to remove. That is. I'm not gonna put the. I'm not gonna put the noodles in this, but I do have to make enough room for the veggies. You know what? We'll do one more scoop. Call it a day. Because again, I can just use this stuff later. It freezes perfectly fine. Yeah, 2 more. That sucker to the top. Okay, half scoop. There we go. I can live with that. Half scoop. Just kind of set that over there. Let that cool down for a little bit. The frozen stuff, though, I am going to use because I would like to just, I don't know, use it. That should have taken enough liquid out where I'm confident to put the veggies in. Alright. Like I said, we're just letting them cook a little bit on the stovetop here. The onions especially. In the fat layer that we took off of the top. Yeah, see how the onions are getting a little bit translucent there? Love to see that. Nice thing is I can basically just dump all this right back in the pot. Turn the temp up on this a little bit. Go crank it up to medium now that I'm done chopping. Basically, I just wanted it. I wanted the onions to start in there first, but I didn't want them to be. I didn't want to be in a panic chopping all these veggies, you know. Basically, we're gonna wait on that till that hits a boil. But I've been having the. Is that just wait? Just one huge chunk of carrot. No, it's like halfway chopped. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Usually also do this, because it's usually not enough fat content in there, but chuck in some butter. Because why not? Why the heck not? Yeah, kind of think yeah, we'll spoon this stuff over there. Maybe not toss it completely in there as is. It's probably a lot of butter to be putting in there for no reason. I mean, look, there's already a nice healthy fat layer on top of that. I do gotta say, it's doing these cooking streams, it's always very interesting learning to cook off to the side. There's a tripod right in front of where I would want to usually be standing. So far so good on the headphones. Like I was, I put in the chat before I started stream that I had not put the headphones on the charger properly, or I might have bumped them or something like that, and they didn't really charge last night. So it's actually delaying stream for like about 20 minutes, waiting for them to charge. Well, and hoping and praying that they'd get enough charge in them. I don't think they were totally dead, it's just that I wore them a lot yesterday, you know? Like, they have a pretty decent run time, but just wanted to make sure Okay, there we go. That could just sit there and sizzle. Yep, hang on. Extra protein. Oh, dang. Well, fortunately this is just for me, so... Ooh, that's a long one. The, dangers of being a guy with long hair. Yeah, I'm not going to put any salt or seasoning in there. I mean, that's already salted butter that I just put in there, so that's not really too much of a concern there. So there's some salt right there, but I'll put the seasoning in the soup itself. Let's actually get that turned up so that actually comes to a boil. Probably actually turn this down. I think I'm cooking this a little too fast. But this should help the veggies get nice and tender when it spends some time inside of the this is carrot slice. I thought it was an onion skin that I missed somehow. It's like I'm doing the performative nudge things around in a pot with a spoon. And look at me, I'm cooking. Doesn't really need to be stirred that much. So, all right, but yeah, since we're not going to use like all of that turkey stock, I'll probably save that other batch for something else. We're going to augment the flavor inside of the pot that we boil the noodles with just some chicken bouillon cubes. It's not actually going to go in the soup itself, it's just to cook the noodles to give them flavor. So, yeah, really should have ran this yesterday. Just doing a little cleanup. Okay, that's coming to a boil, that's nice. Okay. Alright, that's coming to the boil. Our onions are a tiny bit translucent. That's kind of where we want that. How long did I say to do this? Right, 15 minutes. Okay. She do be boiling. So I'm going to turn that off. Now for the fun times of scooping all of this into the pot. Oh yeah, this is going swimmingly. Yeah, you can see, got the onions a little bit translucent there, so made everything else a little bit more tender, Woo! Hot. It's admittedly a complete pain in the ass with a camera right in front of me. Lower, so less of a splash. But like I don't want to, dump all of the butter directly into here, you know what I mean? can go in there. Now keep that there for now because I do got noodles to get boiling here. So got some, well, I do have a bit of an issue, and that turkey stock is still frozen, so we have to get that unfrozen. Solid soup. It has not been liquid for 11 months. I mean, it still smells perfectly fine. I've eaten venison that could probably sign up for kindergarten, so pretty certain some turkey stock that's been frozen for an entire year should be fine. This is the dividends of buying a generator for when my power goes out, paying off. That's what we're playing with here. All right. Let me actually. Yeah, I'll wait until that gets totally melted, then I'll add in the water. You know what? In the meantime, I can just clean my pan. Just why not? Just sitting here waiting on things. Oh right, I should probably put a timer on this, shouldn't I? 15 minutes. It's not gonna hurt anything if that boils for a couple extra minutes. And it's longer and I just frickin' shot water all over halfway over my kitchen. Sorry. I am just a mess today. That's alright. Like there was a, you know, piece of raw chicken in here for 7 hours. Some veggies. That shit don't need to be hospital sterile. Besides, it's a freaking pan. It goes on a stove and heats up and kills everything on it anyway. Live life a little freer once you understand how germs work. All right. Okay, I don't want to chuck that in the freezer right away. We'll let that soup or stock that I took out of there, let that come down to temp a little bit. That just occurred to me. I don't think it's actually working. Hang on. I don't know if I've heard them or not. Here, let's do this one. yeah, those definitely aren't working. They're definitely not coming through my headphones. Huh. Oh, that's odd. We gotta check on that. Still got time. Yeah, their site's down, that's why. It sounds like not my problem. That's what ultimately ends up there. Also, hi, Spells. Yeah, so Blurb is down right now, and nothing I can do about that. Because again, it looks like it's on their end. Oh, thank you. I just realized they kind of are my channel colors, aren't they? It is, it's getting a bit warm in this kitchen. Not gonna lie, because I have two things boiling right now, so. Come on, Ice Cube, hurry up and melt. Yeah, that really didn't put a lot of stock in there, did it? No, understandable, but how's this looking? It's just sitting there boiling away. Basically, you cook this until the carrots are soft, so. Alright. There is our stock from the last time we made stock, which was a very long time ago. That pot's sort of hot. Hang on. Grab some gloves. Get to listen to Sync ASMR for a bit. Because I have to boil the noodles. Actually, come to think of it, it's probably good that I didn't use all that stock because I just got to dump all this down the drain anyway. So, just a little bit from last time. It's probably fine. Like I said, I just want to impart a little bit of extra flavor to the noodles. Which again, in case you don't know, the reason I'm not boiling the noodles in here is because the noodles absorb all the moisture. And it would kill all of our broth, and basically I'd just be left with a stew that's mostly noodle. So we're just going to take some bouillon cubes. So it's only one of these to 8 ounces, and that's a lot more than 8 ounces. So 2 for now because I can always add more. Can't necessarily remove. And yeah, like I said, just gonna give the noodles a little bit of their own flavor. Because typically what I do is I keep the noodles in Tupperware separate and I add them as needed. So, also takes care of us having to salt the water, you know. So hopefully, this is my first time trying this out, so we're gonna see. I got about 6 minutes on this guy over here. It'll be okay if it goes longer. It's not gonna hurt anything. But actually, while we still have 6 minutes, we're gonna add this chopped Italian herbs to this. Because I don't have an herb garden I can just go grab parsley from, and I figured instead of just using parsley, I could actually just use some mixed greens, because there's parsley in this. There's also what else? Parsley, basil, oregano, canola oil, sea salt, ascorbic acid to protect color and flavor. So we'll just do one of them. I don't think I'll do all of it. It's enough to give it some color and flavor. I can add more later, but oh yeah, that'll work. Maybe I should add more. Nah, that's quite a bit. That's quite a bit. The aroma, strong. Also got some of our pepper in there. Again, you can always add pepper, salt and pepper to this. I do hesitate to put a lot of salt in here. Mainly because I put salt in the stock. Turkey was covered in salted butter. I have bouillon cubes going in there. There's going to be a lot of salt, so it's not go crazy. And again, you can always add salt later. And for the secret ingredient, just a bit. Don't need a lot. Come on. There we go. That's enough. It's probably more than enough. But that is okay. I did add MSG to the stock yesterday, so. I ended up having a bit of a flavor explosion. But again, that's okay. Here, let's do a quick taste test. Here comes a bigger spoon. And I'm gonna do something smart here. I'm gonna take a spoonful of it, about that much, put in a little glass, and let it sit there for a minute. As I contemplate what the hell I'm gonna do with the rest of these herbs. I'll find something to do with them. Although having that is making me think maybe I should try to grow my own herb garden. Oh, it's bursting with flavor. Holy shit. Yeah, I don't need to add anything else. That's good. That's good. That's good as is. That's going to turn out real tasty. All right, we're on about a minute and a half left on the boil it until the carrots get soft phase. We're just going to check the carrots. Whenever that happens. Looks like, oh right. It's going to be for egg noodles. I think the cubes have all dissolved, so that's good. So if you remember, if you're just joining us, this is, on the left-hand side here, this is a bit of stock that I made last year. Yes, last year. So, bit of stock that I made last year, and some water added to it, and a couple of chicken bouillon cubes. And we're just going to use this to boil our noodles. Because again, if you boil the noodles directly in the soup that you're making, all the noodles are just going to absorb all the soup, all the broth. Quick, tell me the brand of microwave I have. Oh my god. I said off. Yeah, then we'll, oh, you know what I didn't do? Well, besides turn that down, but here, carrot. Why is it hard to get one singular carrot? There we go. Put that back in my glass. I'll wait till that gets cools down a bit. All right, I forgot to shred up the turkey more. I'm gonna have to do that because that's going to go in during the simmer phase. So, but let's make sure that this is all right. Oh, carrots are perfect. Carrots are perfect, so we're going to turn that down to low. Again, that could just sit there. That's fine. It's not hurting anything doing. Just sitting there. Actually, before I start doing this in earnest, oh, it's boiling. Okay, sweet. Okay, so these go in for, the package says 12 to 15 minutes. We're going to do 12 minutes. Just 12 minutes. All natural, Miss Miller's old-fashioned egg noodles. Got the small ones too, so. I'd make my own egg noodles, but I don't want to. Why do they even have the zip tie on this thing? Hey, Tubbles. You are in time catch the tail end of 2 days of work. So, alright. Let those go. There we go, 12 minutes. Alright. Basically, I am just shredding up the turkey. Just doing this off screen and whatnot. That's alright. Hey, it's even if you stop by at the kind of near the tail end, not a big deal at all. So I'm just kind of just hand shredding up the turkey bits here so they're nice and small. Again, if you're thinking about the size, just think about size as that. Skin. Think about the size that would fit on a spoon. So I always say whenever I'm chopping up anything for a soup or a stew or something like that, just think about the size that fits on a spoon. But yeah, it's gonna end up being a fairly short stream compared to what I've been doing. So, you know. Because there's not much to do. There's not like... It's still a process that I'd like to share with you guys, but it's not like a marathon to make the stock. The soup itself actually takes hardly any time. So if you just have stock sitting around and making a decent soup out of like store-bought stock or something isn't that hard. Not that time consuming, really. Heck, if you want to use pre-chopped veggies, it makes it even faster. Literally just throwing some things into a pot and boiling it. Kind of amazing that's how basically fusion power is going to work. Throw some of the sun's energy into a pot and boil water. Still amazing that humanity, basically on the first try, figured out the best way to generate or turn heat into actual usable energy. Just figured that out the first try. It's all boiling water, folks. That's all it is. Just, using pretty much rocks, some spicier than the others. Yeah, rocks and liquids. Again, some spicier than others. turkey skin. I mean, Doubles, I'll email you a bowl. It's fine. Or would you just like it through regular mail? Just grab a bowl, slap some postage on it, send it across the Atlantic. I'm sure that'll arrive to you just fine. Still piping hot. But thank you for the 7-stream streak. Appreciate that. Okay. Also, because you have a 7-stream streak, I hope your insomnia gets better soon. Well, I do appreciate it. I hope your insomnia gets better. Don't need you popping in one of my streams at 10 p.m. local time. You know, it's like, the hell. All right. Still simmering. Okay, there's our pile of turkey. We're just gonna casually just do one of these. There we go. Because basically, we already got all the fat out of this turkey into the stock anyway. All the flavor out of the turkey into the stock at this point. So, really, we're just using this as an opportunity to warm the turkey up. Oh, yeah, look at that. This just looks gorgeous. That is one pretty looking soup. Sit there simmering for a little bit. Let's do another quick taste test. Sure, it tastes great, but you know, this is after it's been sitting in there conspiring against my taste buds. Let that cool down a little bit. It's a little trick I'm doing. I'm just putting a little glass, so I'm not holding a spoon, praying to not spill it while it cools down a little bit to try it. Oh jeez. Well, Dumbles, I really hope you get some decent sleep soon. Oh, that is so good. So nice when you actually absolutely nail what you're trying to make. So I've said this before, I will say it again. I don't like to cook. I don't like doing this tedious frickin' chore that I have to do every day to keep myself alive. Sisyphean task of standing over this stove, making myself something because I don't want to go broke ordering takeout. It's annoying. But I put in a lot of effort for it. Because I try to be the best that I can be at cooking, because I want the end result to actually be worth it. Which I think we're there. That's fair. Yeah, that's true. And again, I don't usually cook 3 times a day. Anymore lately, it's been a lot of like, I'll eat once. Which I know is probably not the best thing, but it's like, I can't force the food down my throat if I'm not hungry. I suppose, I don't know. Probably should have been stirring this a little more. I can feel a few of these noodles sticking to the bottom. That's alright though. Yeah, I don't need to add any There's no more seasoning that needs to be added to that soup. It's all good. Everything about that is good. Okay, I got about 2 more minutes left on the noodles. And I'm not... It says 12 to 15 minutes. Only doing the 12 minutes because it's going to go into the soup and that's going to get things... get that cooked the rest of the way. Once again, more doing the performative stirring things in a pot that doesn't need to be stirred because it makes me look like I'm cooking. So as I could nudge that a little bit more over here so you can see the star attraction. Yeah. Maybe if I do entertain the thought of actually moving out of this house, I'll make sure I get a... Maybe I'll look for a kitchen that has an island stove top. You know what an island stove top is? Well, basically an island kitchen is there's a like a cooking surface smack dab in the middle of the kitchen. And some of them are nice enough to have their stove right there, smack dab in the middle of the kitchen. And if I do something like that, I could, in theory, have a much better setup for doing this. Because then what could happen is that I won't have a camera, you know, in my way. So it's like there's a camera right here in front of me. You know, breathing down its neck, I could actually set it up. Yeah, I know it's fine. Yes, for you guys it's fine because I put an effort to make it fine for you guys. Shut up. Okay. So, the very old turkey stock that I used to make this has served its purpose. So again, this is why I didn't use all of my extra turkey stock. Just a little bit. But we did use some of the extra in here along with some chicken bouillon cubes and water to top things off to boil these noodles, so they should be fairly tasty. Let's actually make sure that those are tender. They should be. They seem like it. See what these suckers actually taste like too. Yeah, I know there's like a prescribed time that should be simmering, but I don't know what it is, and I don't really particularly care. So, you know. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that did it. That did the trick. That was exactly what I wanted. The noodles taste like they were actually made in the soup and not just boiled in water, aka the noodles actually have a flavor. It's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Let me get those out. Pains me to dump this water, but that's okay. It served its purpose. Its purpose was to make me a delicious meal. And it... hell, that was hot. And it has. has there we go. Let's put that back on the stove because that is very hot. Yeah, I think we are good there. Okay. Sorry, just spending a moment to admire my handiwork, yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. I mean, I want to get this done in time for me to watch football this afternoon, so same sentiment there. But yeah, I think we can turn that and call it done. Here, hang on. Let me I'll chuck that into what's cooking. There we go. That would be on the Discord. ! Discord if you'd like to join. No pressure to do so, though. People are in plenty of Discords. Don't need to be in another one. But I do think it's time to actually make myself a bowl of this. Has this cooled down enough? Yeah, that's good enough. Let me I'll let that sit there for a second. I just want to deal with the stock that's currently sitting on that's a pen. I am looking for a magic marker. I have to sneeze. Damn. Yes, yes. I do plan on eating it. Oh. Hang on. Brown Sharpie is close enough to black, so we'll just grab one of these. It's like, I need to just buy a box of Sharpies, because I get them, use them, they disappear. Yeah, I have them powerful sneezes. 'Cause I don't like to sit there and have all rapid fire the tiny ones over and over. what's the day? 11:30. There we go. Go in there. Get my amazing labeling system. Oh, hang on. On there. And in the freezer it goes to be moved out of the way every time I need something, but yeah, there we go. Turkey stock. You did well, turkey stock. You were a good one. But back in the freezer you go, right next to the venison from 2023. It's like, my God, it's like, you could have like archaeological finds inside of my freezer for the amount of stuff in there. From God only knows when. Okay, I'm actually going to pour a bowl of this stuff. Mainly because I don't want my noodles all clumped together. They probably already are. Well, that stems from a reason why people say bless you when you sneeze, chef, is it stems from the belief that a sneeze was your soul attempting to leave your body. And people would say bless you because they thought, you know, you needed some sort of divine intervention to prevent that from happening. I guess we, I don't know, never stopped doing that out of habit. You know, old habits die hard. It's a joke sometimes. I just tell people to stop sneezing instead of saying bless you. Because I understand that it is not your, you know, eternal soul trying to leave your body because you accidentally smelled some pepper. All right. So, that has drained. Just build ourselves a bowl here. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. A little bit more. Okay, oh, those are still very hot. So I don't want to maybe not completely dunk my hand in that. Grab tongs. There we go. There we go. That is a very hearty soup. All right, let's also get this into a. That'll probably fit in this one. Like, get my noodles into a container. Oh, my goodness, it barely fit. But it fit. So all that matters, it only has to fit once. It's just going to reduce the amount near future anyway. It's like I've already tasted this, the broth itself, so I know this is going to be absolutely fire. There we go. It's occurred to me it's been a very long time since I've actually used these plastic bowls for actually storing food. I usually just put small snacks into them. Alright. Yikes. That's a rough one. Do you just want the day off? Listen, I might be a fan of American hand egg, but at least I know what that means. Uh-oh. Somebody probably said something personal. Sorry, that's my sugar not. And of course, it uncorked the big freaking lump that was stuck in there and dumped way too much sugar in this. Oh well. Just want another coffee while that, pour myself another coffee while that cools down a touch, you know. That's all. Even though I do know it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I really shouldn't be having coffee, but fuck it, we ball. Actually, in all reality, I just want to hit the coffee button again. There we go. Alright, where's my spoon? Where's my spoon? Spoon! Let's see how this is. Some actual chicken in it. Oh my god. Y'all have no idea how good this is. I'm not just saying that to blow my own horn here. Yeah, it's fucking amazing. It's so easy to make too. That's a nice thing. It just takes effort. It just takes a while. That's all. Like if you can stand being up at 8 o'clock in the morning, cooking for something that you won't have as a meal until 3 o'clock in the afternoon the next day, then it's worth it. Holy shit, this is delicious. And the best part is, I can have this for like lunch or dinner for like the next week. Oh my goodness, it's so tasty. So worth it. So worth the effort. sitting here while I eat, I think maybe we just go on and snooze those ads real quick. There we go. I think we just call it there. How about that? Like I said, quick 2-hour stream. Like I said, it's going to be a fast one today. I just, for anyone that happened to stop by for the stock process, I just at least wanted to get something out there to show you the soup making process. So, let's see. Hitter, score. I think it's that. Yes, it is. Okay. Which, by the way, I do actually go live on YouTube. Just as a, as an option for people if they want to come check me out on there instead, if that's their streaming platform of choice. Also, it's a very, very handy way to save all of these VODs permanently. So, I will continue to put up with the effort to do that. Even though it is a bit of a pain, takes me a little bit longer to get streams up and running. But, yeah, I think we call it there. All right. All right. I gotta find some place to send you guys off to here. Oh, you know what? I'll send you over to Zen. How about that? But seriously, folks, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for indulging me while I do all this. Usually now would be the time I'd say, it's like, I'll be live on Monday. I'm going to take the night off. I'm going to take the night off, that night off. We're going to go, we'll come back on Tuesday. How about that? I am at the time of year where I don't work Fridays anymore until basically January. So, maybe schedule's going to be weird, so just check Twitter and Discord. How about that? Oops. Let's fuck that one up. But seriously, folks, thank you so much for being here. I will be back probably Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Doing what? I don't know. We'll get something figured out. But until then, you folks have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Have a fantastic Monday. And like I always say, just keep being good to each other. Bye, everyone.